both in there at the same time. They're both on the same black screen.
Together. You might have should have given him a heads up.
Yeah, hey, what's up, dude? You guys want to recite all the state capitals and stuff first? Anything else?
Any kind of other filibusters before you bring me on? Yeah.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey,
nice
Toots,
to see
how
you
you doing?
Likewise.
Likewise. Thanks for having us.
Oh, of course. I think first things first, we want to go ahead and I guess we're going to talk about you and your business for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, in addition to being the drummer for Gears, Jimmy Wooten has been in the music industry for decades as a talent manager. He is a man behind the scenes. He buys talent. He helps arrange festivals. He does all kinds of stuff.
So when you say decades, does that mean he was like 8 when he started? Because he only looks like, I don't know, 30?
Yes.
Maybe?
I was 11 years old when I started. Absolutely. Yeah, 11 years old.
I'm also 30.
It's just barely. It's just barely multiple decades. Just let's clarify that. Just barely.
Okay. Well, but you have a business. The World Is Yours Consulting. Tell us what you do.
Well, I mean, it's kind of whatever a band needs, whatever an artist needs, whatever an event coordinator needs. I try to be able to service my clients kind of like a one-stop shop. So it's taking artists and helping them build infrastructure, helping them build their business, helping them know that they should be running their band like a business, first of all. And second of all, just kind of trying to get them cost effectively marketing and promoting and stuff like that. It's no secret. Bands don't have a lot of money if you're independent. Everything's coming out of your own pocket. So if I can help a band put together a marketing and promotional plan and just guide along the way in a cost-effective manner, then everybody wins.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And you also, I mean, gosh, all over these barely 20 years of experience in doing such. I mean, obviously you do that for your own band Gears. But what other things do you think that bands should be looking out for that maybe they're missing? Full stop.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say that. There's no blanket answer to that because the landscape in the marketplace is constantly changing. I've talked to people that I respect, that I consider mentors of mine. 6 months ago, this is what they're going for, and then 6 months later, they're like, "Yeah, we're past that. We're on to this now." So you really got to keep your ear to the street and you got to have a passion for it. First of all, you got to be willing to sit through all the bullshit that you don't necessarily agree with, but you have to acclimate yourself to get your bands to do it. It's like, for example, I was talking to a band last night, and social media content. Everybody here knows I hate social media content. I'm not a content creator. I didn't start playing drums so that I could be a content creator. But I have these people on my social media team that are constantly breaking my nuts about doing some social media content. And I still don't do it. So maybe I should follow my own advice. But no, I mean, that's the thing. It's people don't know what works for them because they're not really trying it. So it's I'm like, dude, go be stupid, be funny, be serious. I don't care anything. Just get on camera for 20 seconds so that someone can cut it up and make a reel out of it.
True. Yep. Okay. So what are some other things though? But if a band is calling you up and hey, hi, we're a band. We'd like to talk to you about management services. What are some of the questions that you're going to ask them right off the bat?
Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to be in the music industry? Why do you want
money and fame and drugs and women?
Yeah, because it's fucking all over the place in 2024. It's like the opposite. Right. It's like to get any kind of traction, you have to be vegan and none of those things. But no, I ask them what they're doing. I asked John this question, and he probably gave me the best answer that any client ever did, and that's why I ultimately knew that we were a good fit. He said, it's just in me, dude. I got a story to tell. I have to do it. And that's exactly how I feel. Even though I'm a drummer, I contribute to a lot of writing and in the bandscape and stuff like that. And that's why I do it. I do it to that release and to get my thoughts out there. Even if nobody knows what I'm talking about, I put it out there. And playing drums, you just, it's nonstop energy, and you connect with the fans and you connect with the people at the shows, and give them a good show.
What do you think that some of the biggest mistakes that artists are making right now when it comes to running their bands? I mean, aside of not running it like a business, what else are they doing that's like a really big, huge red flag? What are some things that you can suggest that maybe a band could do to improve?
I think that they should research the industry that they're in. A lot of them just have no clue of what it really takes, what the definition of success in today's, marketplace. And success is not the $1 million record deal. It's not the huge houses. It's not the limousines. It's not the, like Jared said, the drugs, the alcohol and the women. It's like, if you can tour and the money that you generate, the revenue that you generate on the road can self-sustain a tour, you're fucking won, man. I know bands that are gigantic, that have sold millions of records that come home in the negative. It's a tough time. The economy's tough. The market's tough. We live in a world where I don't think that music is considered a commodity or something special, because it's kind of been free to everyone that's kind of like in the 20s and moving into their 30s. So it's just always been there. I don't think that a lot of people have ever like stood out in front of a Tower Records or a wall-to-wall sound and video on a Tuesday morning waiting for the next, tour record or whatever. So I think that kind of creates a disconnect where rather than music being the focus, it's kind of just atmospheric. It's just there, everybody's, kind of, vibing to it and everything, but it's just there. It's not the focus. Like I used to buy records and CDs, whatever. I come home and just sit with my headphones in the dark and just consume the whole record. I still to this day have not listened to the last Tool record because I haven't had the time to sit by myself with speakers or headphones and listen to the whole record front to back, and I refuse to consume it in microwave spaces.
Dude, you've that record's been out for a little while. You should have made time for that one.
He's a busy man.
I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy guy.
Busy man.
But hey, I respect the commitment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna touch it until I know I'm ready. And and it'll probably hit you at the exact time in your life when it needed to hit you too. That's good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The universe does what we need when we need it.
That's right.
So look, I'm gonna ask you this, and I want your opinion on it. With the access that everybody has to streaming services and everything, do you feel it's oversaturated?
Man, there's two sides. If you're a fan, it's magnificent. Like, you have every artist ever at your fingertips on your fucking phone. You know what I mean? The thing that you carry around, your computer, whatever. But as an artist, it creates a lot of competition. It's tough to stand out when there's so many great artists, so many great songs, so many, just so much. It's hard to move the needle. It's hard to get people to notice you, and hard to get to stand out.
Right. Talking of standing out, Jimmy. Now, you've been doing this for a very long time. You do the behind the scenes stuff with the, you've done the talent booking, management, you've been in bands, you've been around the block a little while. What makes a band stand out to you when you listen to them for the first time, where you go, they've got something?
Honestly, it's not really when I listen to them. I listen with my eyes a lot of times. Yes, the technology is so advanced that we can make a record that sounds like it was at Studio City Sound, recorded at Studio City Sound in our bedrooms. I need to see the live show. I need to see the product. I need to see the energy. A lot of, music that's coming out today has a lot of energy to it. It does, but I'm always very skeptical. It's like, all right, so that's a dope melody, but I want to see it live. You know what I mean? That's a great drum part. As rhythm section is tight as fuck on this record, but I want to see it live. I want to feel the energy. And even it doesn't even have to be in person. I could see, if I would go to, YouTube video, or if they give me some content, some footage from a show to check out, that's good enough for me, because I can either get a feeling about it or I don't. And even if I don't get it, if I don't get the feeling, it doesn't mean that I won't work with them. It just means that I feel like I need to do something to inspire them to give more energy. You're only going to get back from the audience what you give out. So if you're just standing there bored, the audience is going to be bored too. So that's my big thing.
So it's got to be the full package. It's got to be, like this. I interviewed Oz Cragg's producer over here back along, and he said there's 3 things in this industry that you need. Is 1, undeniable bangers that you're putting out. 2 is your live show. You've got to put on a killer live show, production and shit like that. And 3, your social media has got to be bang on point.
I will agree like 80% on that. I think that there are certain artists that kind of transcend social media. I don't think you have to have it at the beginning. I think you definitely have to have it to develop the fan base once you get to that point. But I mean, this dude got a record deal, no social media, no releases, nothing. Like just 5 songs. And somebody felt that was good enough and that it had enough heart. And I spoke very passionately about it. I think the fact that it's kind of out of my main genres of, of focus said a lot about it. I mean, he's crushing it right now. I can't be happy. I couldn't be happier than for him, and I couldn't be more appreciative for the label and all the people that we work with to get everything, keep the trains on time, so to speak. But he's doing great.
Yeah, he's from you, and it's nice to meet you, by the way. Finally, John, after making your website. Yeah, I'm just saying it's nice to meet you finally after, I spent all that time making your website.
Looking at us,
nice to meet you face to face.
3 weeks.
Yeah. So, like, from you sending me that track, like, Jimmy knows I don't like country. He's on here. I said it at the start of the show. Like, I'm not a country fan because that's not my go-to. But when Jimmy sent me Starboy, I was like, damn, this is good. And that
song's special, man.
And I want to touch on it in a little bit, but I want to roll back around to how did it come about with you 2 working together?
It's actually kind of a funny story.
Yeah. So we have a mutual friend, my bass player, Mike Michael, is good friends with Jimmy, and Mike really liked the song. He liked Star more than I did. Like I wrote it years ago, and we never played it out or done anything with it. Just not a song, or it's a reflection, time alone kind of song. And he always wanted me to do something with it. And I really didn't care that much about it. I wrote it and shelved it, and then we worked it up and put it out. And but we share just a mutual friend with my bass player. Jimmy really, my music really isn't a fit for him at all, and he took a chance on me, and he's really, really good at what he does. I know that. And then Roxette took a chance. So
I just want to. I'm just going to blow some smoke up your ass, Jimmy. Now, for any bands that are in this chat watching this show, if you haven't been listening to a single word Jimmy's saying, then you're stupid. This man knows what the fuck he's talking about, and he is probably, other than my business partner who's sat over there, he is probably the person I trust most in this fucking industry, hands down. He tells you how it fucking is to listen to what he's got to say. And John, you can probably attest to that. Like, he's probably told you straight working together, like, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this, and he's probably right up your ass trying to, make sure that things are getting done.
Well, that's the funny part. We started talking about working together about 2 years ago, and John is a very hands-on, like if he sees it, he's going to do it. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it. He built businesses, he's worked hard all his life. And the first thing I told him, I was like, just so you know, I know you're very successful in business and I'm happy for you, but the music business is nothing like any other business in the world. It won't make fucking sense to you. Like, it will hurt you. It will beat you down, and you will give it all your money, and it will demand more. And I think some of the things that I was telling him when we were talking about it, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. I think he thought I was full of shit.
I think as hard as it was, I got nowhere on my own. Absolutely nowhere. I thought I would be able to use him for just promoting as a booking agent, maybe, but I couldn't get anything done. I sat there stagnant for 2 years and just couldn't get anywhere. So I'd come back to him and ask him, look, could you give me a price together, and work with me, think about being my manager and give me some, help me out. And he said, I'll think about it. And he come back and give me a price. And in 2 weeks, he had me a record deal. I mean,
and it's not just any record deal. It's not like he got you with some no-name label that no one's ever heard of.
Oh, I mean, he would call me. I didn't really know him that well at the time. I'm like, I bet. He's like, I don't want to get your hopes up, but first it started out distribution. If we can just get you distribution, that'll be plenty.
Save you a couple $100. Yeah. We can make some cost-effective moves here.
And I was like, that'd be great. Whatever you can do. I'll take whatever I can get. And he calls back and he's like, yeah, we're definitely going to get distribution. And then the next week he's like, yeah. He's like, I don't want to get your hopes up too much, but things are looking pretty good. Everybody's liking it. And the next thing you know, he calls back and he's like, I've got an offer on the table for a record deal. It's like, so, I didn't know if he was blowing smoke or, saying that to all the girls or what.
Right. And this just so people know, this record deal happened before he even released any music.
Yeah.
No,
he didn't have a Facebook page, dude.
I've never had a Facebook page. I've never had any social presence at all. Nothing.
Wow, that goes against everything we say here on the show all the time. Yeah. Kevin, do you have the music, his music queued up? Are we gonna be able to play it?
Okay, let's just play it and let's hear it. So that way we can then.
Yeah, I'd like to jump back in kind of where we're leaving off right here, but I'd like to, if we could, Kevin, play the song.
So the one that I got sent was Pike County Coal. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
So my buddy James Powell wrote that back in the 90s, and he had put it out on MySpace, and he's a great musician and great songwriter. And I used to have this bakery and a donut shop, and we were working in there 3 a.m. and we were listening. I always loved his music, and I'm like, someday I'm gonna cut that. Someday I'm gonna do something with it. And he's like, you can fucking have anything I got, man. Do whatever you want with it. He's like, be my guest. He's like, I hate music. He's like, you can have it. I said, I'm gonna make you eat those words one day. So I cut it, and we'll see what happens with it.
All right, here it is. It's John Calvin, the Barnstormers. It is Pike County Coal. Check it out, and you're watching the sound.
Way to make that Gibson scream. That was nice.
Yeah, I thought the guitars were lovely. I mean, it's not my genre. I really can't speak to it. I'm a little I'm definitely way out of my wheelhouse here. I think that the music sounded great. I thought the vocal sounded great. Thank you, Wanda.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you,
yeah,
Wanda.
Like I said at the start of the show, country's not my
Everybody
thing.
loves you, buddy.
What's it say?
Sound like country made not the country music my mom used to play. I can listen to this, adding to my playlist once it shows up.
Yeah, really, I was just looking putting stuff out. We cut those during COVID in a buddy of mine's bedroom, and just for demos, just to try to get management. Really, when I was cutting those, I was just looking for management, and so it's really not. I don't know that that's where I'll land. It's as far as an artist, I don't don't exactly know yet. Like I got a lot of other. I'm kind of like Chris Stapleton. I got some shine down in me, you know, and I got some bluegrass in me. I got a little bit of this and that. So.
Well, I'm gonna ride his ass like this, and we're gonna see what's in him. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm curious, how did you? I mean, you said your kids are raised, right?
Yes, it was my plan all along.
So why now? So what happened that made you decide that you're going to pivot in your life?
People need to listen to this because this is the first time I've ever heard of anything. I think it's truly remarkable. Like, so anybody who's a musician out there or thinks that they missed the boat, listen to this.
So shout out my wife Angela if she's watching. She's been, really supportive. So it was always our plan to raise our kids and then build our business. And then when they're gone and, I got my business under control, I can chase music all I want. And she said, we'll do whatever. It's like, we'll bum it. We'll live off the streets and chase music if that's what you want to do. But we're going to raise our kids first, and we're going to, get our life in order first, and then chase music. So I would write songs and put them in the can, and so that's what I did. I didn't play out until my kids were grown, and then I started with a little cover band, and we'd play here and there, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do. So I said, I think I'll take off and try to get some songs cut, get some demos, or get them and see if I can approach this a different way. All I ever wanted just to be locally known. I just want to be locally known, and that's all I ask out of music. I don't want to go and have to beg to play for $100 and show them that I'm worthy for $50 and chicken wings to play a little local bar. It's like I want more out of music than that. I want share my songs and I just wanted to put out my music. So
tell your story like you told me when I asked you.
So, and it's something we always say on this show, right? It's you as an artist determine your success.
Yeah.
When you're happy, if you're happy just going out and doing a short run and you're sustainably doing it and you're loving it, aren't you successful? Yes, you signed to a fairly big record label right now, but like you said, you just want to get that little bit. You want to get what you want out of music, and when you get what you want out of music, then you're a success, right? Surely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's with anything though. It's with life. You define your own success.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. I think that you guys have a very successful show. I was telling him about this. I think that you guys have one of the most devoted fan bases. I haven't been on this show in probably over a year and a half, and I still see the same people that are in here commenting. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's dope. You're not playing all, the hits and stuff. You're giving them fresh new music, and they love it. And they've grown to become kind of like a family. I'm sure they're all, a lot of them that live in the area, or someone maybe you travel to the shows that you guys put on and everything, and that's cool. You're creating something special there.
Love it.
Well,
Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's our privilege to do so. I mean, all four of us, we have a huge driving passion to just talk about new music, what's coming up, who are the artists that are going to be next. I mean, every artist starts out as an unknown. I mean, you look at someone like Shinedown. There was a time when people didn't know who Shinedown was. You know what I mean? They were playing in the crappy bars. They were praying to sell a shirt. And look where they are now. I mean, we just want to talk about the artists that are up and coming and bring that to the people. They all deserve our time. If they're working hard and putting in the hours to put out a great product, they deserve our time. Plain and simple. And, John, I mean, being a man of, who's been around for, a little bit, I love your story, talking about your wife and your kids and raising your family and now chasing music. So here you are at that pivotal point where you get to chase your music. You are signed. So what's the next step for you? What's next?
Whatever I tell him to do is his next step.
That is the correct answer, John.
Right.
But really from your heart, I love that you're coming from the heart. I mean, you're so
right.
It's just it's so genuine and sincere.
He's one of the most authentic people I've ever met.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't expect to find it, you know, honestly, like the first time that we were talking about working together, it was like, I think I kind of put him off. I think kind of put me off. And we were just like, yeah, we'll try it. And then we kind of went our separate ways. But somehow the universe brought us back together. And his story, like about the delayed gratification, you know, most people, you know, say, oh, well, chase your dreams while you're young because you're going to have to pay bills someday. He's doing that in reverse. And that gives him such great insight. Like, you know how many songs this guy has, even if they're not demoed out or even a voice memo yet. You know how many songs this guy has in his head, in his heart? I can't wait to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's something I want to touch on is, you know, we just listened to Pike County Coal, and which released on Monday, I believe.
Yes, Monday.
And then the previous single before that, Starboy.
September 20th.
I put in the comments, like, listen to the lyrics. And I'm going to go back to Starboy because when I first heard that, like, those lyrics I could relate to. It was from the soul. It wasn't even from the heart. It was from the soul. So where do those lyrics come from, John?
So the story behind Starboy is that, so my wife she had a cat and it had a few kittens. Well, the neighbor's dog come over and killed the cat, killed the mama. And we had like 4 or 5 kittens left, and they were old enough to live on their own. So we were taking care of the kittens, and my kids are like 6 and 8 years old at that time. And we were watching them like gardening with our life, and they kept dying in like funny ways. Like you'd come home, like one's got electrocuted, and like these kittens didn't have 9 lives, and one trapped and squished by the garage door. And it's like we finally, like, they all kept dying in like haphazard ways. It got down to one, and I'm gardening with my life. He's in the garage, and so I had a leg golf cart, and apparently, I guess he was laying on top of the tire, and I went to the neighbors, and I come back, and I see the kitten over there on my lawnmower, and he's struggling to breathe, and it's like he's like 8-10 weeks old. So my wife takes him into the vet on like a Sunday evening, and it's like, you know, to the vet, it's like a 50-cent kitten, you know, let's just put it down. And I'm like, well, Opera, do something. They're like, no, it's not worth it. And I'm like, well, what's it going to take? She's like, it's going to cost $2,000 to, you know, to try to save him. I'm like, well, I didn't ask you. Just do it. That's fine. Just try. Well, they just waited out and let the little cat die. So that pissed me off. So I started that song. The first part of that song is about a kitten. And then the second half come a few years later. We ride a lot of horses and travel all over the country riding. And I was riding this little mare. And the funny thing about a horse is, a horse, it won't lay down on you until it's like give out. Like you can push a horse to death. Like you can give it a heart attack. So I was riding this fat little old filly, and she's packing my fat ass, and it's hot.
I'm a fat little old filly.
Yeah, and it's hot, and we get back to camp, and I put her up and water her, and I go in and change my clothes. It's like 100 degrees out. We shouldn't even been riding. And I come out, and she's laying down, and it looked like she had blood. She was shaving. It looks like she was, oh my gosh, I killed my horse. And she didn't even really give me a sign that she was struggling. So the second half, the main character of that song was about her, you know, getting me back to town, you know, so.
Oh,
That's why I love it.
oh man.
Yeah, that's tough.
No,
So,
I'm
you know, those are
sorry.
true.
That you know what? Those stories are what bring us the best lyrics to some of our favorite songs.
Yeah,
You know?
because the emotion of that, you know,
Yeah.
painful event for him is baked into that song.
Right. It's told from the heart.
Right.
So
They just put
Tom's
lyrics
Tom's
into the
just dropped
comments.
some of the lyrics in the comments for anyone who wants to know the lyrics to Starboy.
So, my bass player Mike, he really liked it. So it's a song about anybody that's ever had to put an animal down, and you know, I get choked up about it.
Yeah. Like for me, I took it as like losing someone close to me and like a loved one, you know, and it's a good thing about music, whether it's how you perceive it and what you're actually writing about. It's how the audience perceives it as well and how they relate to it. And that's it's powerful shit, man.
Oh yeah. To me, I think the mark of a good artist is exhortation. It's, can I make you feel what I feel? And then I can take you to my high places and I can take you to my low places. And I feel like that's a really good trait to have.
About an hour before we hopped on here, we were just talking about music and just different things, and he was showing me some demos that he had, and because we're gonna start working his ass. He's getting whew, he'd be like Rocky Ford. But anyway, we were talking about certain things, and there's this one song that Gears wrote called Takeaway, and everybody has a different story about what that song means to them. And I mean, they come up and they say, and I know I've said this before on your show before, because it's so cool. I think the greatest songwriters, like he said, they can take you through the highs and the lows, but I think also they can be specific enough to invoke emotion, but they're vague enough to let your mind create what is happening to get the emotion. Like I have people come up all the time. It's like, oh man, I know that song, when you guys wrote that, who was in the bad relationship, it's not that, because it really helped me through, my divorce, and it helped me, feel significant again when I felt insignificant and all that. And I'm like, that was about like fighting with a band member and firing him. Like that's what that song, that's what Tripp and I wrote that song about. It was
that to me is the coolest part of music.
That is the best. That is the best. It's the ability to give someone not a blank slate, but like Mad Libs. Here's some words. You fill it in.
Well, that's why like a lot of times before we play a video, we'll ask the artist or the band, tell us everything or tell us nothing. And the reason for that is because like even me as someone who's written songs and as a fan of music, like sometimes I do want to know, but then sometimes when you find out what the artist truly meant, it almost changes the song a little bit in a way that I don't always like, because now I'm thinking about what he was thinking about instead of what I was thinking about that I thought he thought about, and it kind of changes.
You think about, thought about. Dude, no, I never want to know, and people always want to tell me, like especially new clients, or potential clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, so track one is I'm like, shh, stop right there. I don't want to know. Because I don't want some preconceived notion to ruin my idea, especially if it's something like, if I'm very tolerant. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but like, especially if it's something that I don't necessarily agree with or believe in, then I'm gonna like hate this fucking song, for no reason, for no reason whatsoever. Right. And so yeah, don't tell me. Let me make up my own story.
That's it. I'm all on board with that one.
Yeah, I mean, plus, there's some songs I think too, like, if you knew, I agree. I mean, like, there's certain songs that for me, and it might be surprising for some people that you could sit there and sob at a metal show, but for me, there's a particular artist that I will stand there and sob through the heaviest screams, because for me, that song is saying something in my heart that I know it probably has nothing to do with the song, but it's okay.
Right.
They gave you that emotional vehicle to put it in and take it for a drive. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think it was going to work this quick, but since we've been talking about it, here you go. Here's the song. Yeah, it's some pretty powerful stuff.
I actually had to step away and like go like wipe a tear. I was like, gosh, this guy's gonna make me cry. You can't make me cry.
He gave me that song, and I did not expect to be like hit like that, and it just came out of nowhere. And I happened to be in New Jersey, having a very miserable work experience that a couple people here know about. and he's like, "Hey, check this track out. This is going to be the first single." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, all right, so maybe my shit isn't so important or terrible,
Right. It's like when you sent it to me to like have a listen when we're working together and stuff, and I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like that's powerful.
Yeah.
Seriously,
you're literally made me like completely tear up. I'm not a crier. You know, and I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, oh my poor horse. You know, breaking my heart.
Dude, it's so strong, so powerful.
Yeah.
Is that your family in the video?
It's really it was hard to play out, so we never really played it out because, you know, out at a bar, people are, it's just not the time for that kind of song. And Mike would always push it, want me to do it because he liked it better than anyone. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. And I was talking to my audio engineer. He's done sound for ZZ Top and Stevie Ray Vaughan and everybody in country. And
George Strait.
Yeah. And I was like, Doug, he's like, I don't want to play. I don't feel right. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, the radio teach it to them. He's like,
yeah.
Once the radio teaches them that song, you'll want to play it because they'll sing it back to you. And I said, really thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So
one thing I noticed from both of the songs tonight is specifically your voice. There's a hurt or a pain in it that's a compliment. It reminds me, Kevin. Remember Doc from Love to Hate?
Love to Hate. Yep.
I don't remember what number singer he was, but kind of, just could always pull something out of you every time he sang, like a hurt in his voice. I don't know. It's just, and I love that. There's a lot of artists that do that, and it's something special. So I hear that in your voice for sure.
He definitely has a personality, a presence, something. There's something in his voice that really drew me to it the first couple times I heard the songs. And I mean, we were just messing around one day here one afternoon. He came over to do some other work, and we ended up he had a guitar, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna record this. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm like, and he had some really cool stuff, and he has a really good, like, I think that he probably has one of the best voices as far as like connecting to it. Like, I'm a tough, like, I'm a hard ass. I am. And the first time I heard Starboy, dude, like, I was blown away. And it was
I'm not crying, you're crying. That kind of vibe.
I didn't know that I was sad or if I was happy or I didn't know what the fuck I was. And that was crazy because it invoked emotion that I didn't know what was happening.
Sometimes being sad, a song making you feel sad, it's like it's cathartic, so it almost makes you feel happy. Uh-oh, my fire alarm's going off. Let me mute that. Okay, I guess it didn't do it. But yeah, it can make you feel happy that you're getting that out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's like
your fire alarm's going off and you just want to turn it off.
Well, I got a candle right here. I know exactly where it came from.
Oh, I was just thinking to myself. I was like, you don't want to go on that.
There's a fire, but I'm on a podcast. How's it going to out?
I know exactly what happened. They're like sensitive as hell.
Well, okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Just making sure you're okay, Jared.
Yeah.
We're good.
Sean, I mean, I have to ask you, do you have any plans for tours, or are you just staying local, or what's the plans for coming up? Like, I mean, obviously the rest of the year, I mean, we got holidays and whatnot, but 2025, man, I'm telling you, man, you head this way to Virginia, I'm going to come see you and sit in the back and cry well out of my wheelhouse.
So half of my band couldn't travel, they got full-time jobs and kids. So we're auditioning people, and we're working right now with a traveling band, trying to get a touring band together, and for a schedule next year. We want to get another single out this year, I think, and then at least an EP or an album, maybe, early next year, and then, get us something to tour on.
Yeah, you're not going to do any of that.
Yeah, we ain't going to.
No, that plan is, you made plans and God laughs, and I say no way.
But we're rehearsing.
No, we're gonna do some stuff. I really want to take the holidays to really get some more music, kind of in the can, maybe demoed out, stuff like that. And then 2025, I definitely wanted to hit the road, but I wanted to do it smart. There's no reason to go out, just do a suicide mission. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just the economy's too tough. I mean, you see all these big tours that are going out, and they're selling 48% of the tickets, 52% of the tickets, and these are huge bands like that should be, selling out. It's like, they're playing amphitheaters and there's half full. So it's like, I want to create something special because he's special, and I want people to know exactly, like, I want people to know who he is before they even show up. So there's going to be a lot of pushing people to hear the stories. I think he's a great storyteller. I love his music. I think he's got a great person that people can relate. Like, this is a real dude. Like, this is a real dude. He came here. I had to give him this black shirt because he came here straight from the construction site. He didn't want to wear his high vis shit. Like, this dude, he's a worker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes me very happy to have him as a client.
That's so relatable, though. I mean, like, looking at it from my perspective as a social media person, right? For me, seeing him in his high vis makes him so relatable to the people that he's trying to communicate with.
Especially in that genre.
That's his audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just a real guy telling real stories, and it's just so easily relatable.
How much music do you have out? And then I think you said on the first song that we played, did you say that did you cut that yourself and only cut it to get management? Like, what I'm asking is like, how deep have you went into the production side? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I only cut that because, I cut Pike County Coal because I liked the song and it fit me. And I thought I was using it just to try to attract management, really, and just to, and I liked it. I didn't have anything to do with writing it, but I wish I did. But
right.
Yeah, he has 5 songs that are in the can, fully mastered. This is the second song that came out just Monday. But he did that whole recording during COVID, to kind of get himself something, give a business card, like, hey, check this out. If you, come do something for me, like every other musician does.
Yeah.
I mean, songs are great. Now that I've heard, like, hanging out more and get closer with him and hearing the stuff that he's got idea-wise just on voice memos, like, I'm like ready to write a record tonight. Like, I'm like, dude, go get the Red Bulls, go get the Monsters. We're writing tonight. And
I love it. I love it.
And I mean, like, dude, not a lot of people can inspire me and excite me the way he does, and that's cool.
See,
you have clients
that takes a lot, and I can, I know Jimmy pretty well. That takes a lot.
That's all of it, though, dude. That's what it's about. Like what he just said, like, get the Red Bulls, we're writing tonight. Like, that feeling, it's like, can we make the tours work? Can we get him out? Can we get, no, that's part of it. But just, that's where it starts, is that fucking drive, that spark. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, for him to tour, like, it has to make sense. You know what I mean? It's like, it has to make sense. There has to be an audience for him to go tour. There's the days of building, grassroots, getting in a van and going and playing, 100 million shows, and to the house audience, that's not there anymore. You know what I mean? You got to get people interested and get them involved, in your story, and make them want to be a part of your journey before, they're even going to come to the show. And bands, like, that's advice to you too. You don't just get into a fucking band, go play for $100 and you're not going to build a fan base that way. You got to build the value. You got to make people want to come see you. You got to get in front of enough people in each market that you're going to want to see you. Your street team people, your social media people, content. Content is king. We're all merely subjects. So make sure that you're doing your content. Make sure that, if you don't know how to do something, find someone who does. I guarantee you're 2 people removed from anything in this industry, whether it be graphics, whether it be social media, whether it be management, whether it be booking. It's there. Just don't be an idiot and go out and play for no reason.
That right fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know how to do something in this industry,
You got to pay someone.
either go and learn it or find someone that knows how to do it.
And you're literally, you don't know the people who you don't think know. A lot of them probably know and just don't talk about it. Like there's a lot of things I know that all of us here on the screen keep very close to our vest, because if we didn't, our messages would blow up all day long with people asking for free advice.
Oh yeah.
You were
I
literally
can tell you
away.
now, Jimmy's does daily from me. So
You are 2 people away from getting the answers that you need. Reach out to the people that you know, the people that you trust, and find out. Ask the questions. All they can tell you is no, or at least refer you to someone who does.
That's right. That's right.
fuck yeah.
So,
You know, some of the hurt in my voice, I think I was just getting over COVID then. I cut those back during COVID. I got some really good deals. Like I got studio players for like $75 a piece.
we should have been hearing joy.
Dude, I think I was sending out drum tracks for like $50 during COVID. It was terrible.
Right. When that happened, I was riding out in the mountains somewhere, and a horse threw me, and I landed on this big stick up, run a limb through my leg, and impaled me to the ground. So I pulled my leg off, and I was bleeding.
Don't show them the pictures.
And I put a tourniquet, put my belt around it, and I had like 5 miles to ride out. And I was with a buddy of mine, so we'd rode out, and I mean, I cut those like a month or 2 later. I was still on pain meds, packing my leg, had gauze in my leg. And they wanted to record it like 8:30 that morning. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was. They're like, "Oh, we want that rawness. We're looking for that." I was like, "It's raw, all right."
Dude, that's not rock. 8:30 a.m. recording sessions.
You know, still had it.
Yeah, no.
Getting over COVID and taking Percocets, and I had a hole through my leg. Yeah, that's
So
Sounds like
we're
a
gonna have to
country
wrap
song.
things up here. If anyone wants to keep an eye on what John Calvin and the Barnstormers is doing, or to follow you, or listen to music, where's the best place for them to find you?
Do you even know?
they keep me away from that stuff. They would have me in Facebook jail the first day. Like they won't let me get on there and talk.
Well, I saw how long it took you to share a Dropbox folder with me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can tell you where to find it.
On any platform, hit John Calvin KY. You'll find it. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, johncalvinky.com is the website, and that'll direct you to a lot of awesome work from my web designer, and it'll direct you to anywhere you need to find it.
And if anyone's looking to speak to Jimmy Wooten about talent management, if you've got a show coming up, you're looking for someone to help you out with that, organization, production, all that, it is The World Is Yours Consulting. TWIY LLC, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can find him everywhere.
And you can hit my assistant at info@riffmedia.group.com. He'll screen all potential clients and send them on to me.
I love it. That's cool.
Like it.
Yeah. Hit us
A
up
quick
at
question.
info-
I can't let Jimmy go without asking this question. Now, we spoke about his company. Dude, what's going on for Gears in 2025?
I think we got a cool show coming up in March, right? Something.
I don't know.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I
No.
lost you.
The answer is no, you may not.
The answer is yeah.
What was it?
Let me drink my tea.
Yeah. Awkward silence, folks. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. I love you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you both for jumping on here tonight. I know that was a good one.
Yeah. Thank you for having
Some
me.
good,
Love you
some good
guys.
tidbits there.
We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Keep us in the loop, John, and much luck to you, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you guys come through Kentucky, hit me up or hit up Jimmy. I got a cool guest house on the farm. You're welcome to stay anytime.
He'll take your
Okay.
ride.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you can go right. I'll put you right on starboard.
You know, it's
Do
like,
that-
what? There's
do
a
that
couple of
bourbon
us, me and Kevin and Jared might just come your way.
All right.
Come on, we're here.
And
Yeah.
thank you to Rock Sun Records also for being in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
And
I
providing us
want to say a quick
with-
thank you to Tom. He's been
Yeah.
amazing. Probably one of the best labels that I've gotten to work with over the years, and he just loves his artists and wants to take care of them, and is 100% about what do you call it? Like cultivating the artist and letting them be themselves and kind of spread their wings. You don't get that much from labels with major distribution.
No,
Awesome.
no. So thank you for that.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah, thanks so
Thanks,
much.
guys. Go ahead.